In today's video, you'll learn exactly why it's essential to have a cohesive brand for your podcast. And because I don't want to leave you hanging, how to create one. Here we go! Whether you like it or not, the mere fact that you have a podcast means that you have a brand. So let's talk about what a brand is. Yes, you do need things like a logo and a color scheme, but that's not what makes a brand. A brand is a message that you want to convey to others about what your podcast is and who it's for. Think Apple and Coca-Cola. When you think of their names or even look at their logo, you know exactly what they create and who they create it for. In the case of Apple, their company makes great electronics and they aim for people who like innovation. So how does this translate to podcasts? Well, if you've ever been to the romance section in your nearest Barnes & Noble, you'll see a lot of lighthearted romance novels with illustrations on their covers. Well, there's a show called Honeymoon for One, and their podcast artwork has illustrations that mimic many of those books that you see on the shelves. What's so cool about that is as soon as you see the podcast artwork, you'll get a sense of what it's about and the style even before you press play. Now that you know what a brand is, let's talk about what makes a cohesive brand. In a nutshell, a cohesive brand is where all of your brand assets match. So your brand assets are the title, the podcast artwork, any social media templates, fonts or color schemes, even your show description, so that anybody can go to any of these platforms online, whether that's your website, your social media profiles, or even your email newsletter, and know exactly what your show is, who it's for, and what it's about. Now that you know what is a cohesive brand, why do you need one? Well, first off, it makes it easier for people to know what your show is about. And the more they know what it's about, it makes it easier for listeners to recommend it. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to grow your show. So you want to make it easy for your listeners to tell other people about your show, what it's about, and why they should listen to it. Next, it helps you build trust with your listeners because they know exactly what to expect from your show. It also makes your show look more professional or credible to advertisers and sponsors if you're looking to monetize or if you're already monetizing. Just because you know what a cohesive brand is doesn't mean that you know how to translate that to your show. So start doing some research of some shows that you like or you really feel have a cohesive brand. What makes them cohesive? Is it the podcast artwork? Is it the color scheme? Is it the fact that it looks like the cover of a romance novel? What exactly is it? And jot all those things down. As promised, I'm not going to leave you hanging. So here is exactly how you can create a cohesive brand. The first thing you want to do is come up with a list of words to describe the tone and the feel of your show. You don't want to have too many words, so 3 to 5 is really good to start with. And these will help you narrow in and focus on what your brand is going to be. So if you have a parenting podcast, your list of words could be encouraging, supportive, and motivational. Next, create a tagline. A tagline is merely a short description of your show that your listeners can look at right away and understand what it's about and whether it's for them. So think Nike's Just Do It or Apple's Think Different. These taglines help the audience identify exactly what the brand is about. Next, consider color schemes and images. If you have an existing show, scrutinize the color schemes and the images and think about how you can make it a lot more cohesive. Stick with one color scheme for all your social media platforms, website, podcast artwork, email newsletter, or wherever your show has an online presence. You'll want to use images that align with the words that you use to describe your show. Going back to the parenting podcast example, you want to pick images that are supportive, encouraging, and motivational. The final step is to create an elevator pitch. Now, there isn't one set length as to how long your elevator pitch should be, but it should be long enough that you can convey what your show is, what it's about, and why someone should listen to it. Once you've created your elevator pitch, it's a smart idea to use this as part of your podcast description. That's it. If you follow these tips, you'll be well on your way to creating a cohesive brand. Let us know in the comments below on what changes you've made to help make your podcast branding more cohesive. Since podcast artwork is an important part of your brand, we have a video all about it. Click here to learn about the 7 ways you can create podcast artwork that stands out. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep podcasting.